Namaste and welcome to Premaloka and Awakened Heart Yoga. So today I'm going to do a short hip opening sequence for you. So we're going to concentrate on the opening of the hips. We will always start with a little bit of breath work and a small meditation. So I'm going to ask you to sit comfortably. You don't have to sit in lotus or padmasana. You can sit in easy pose or whatever pose is comfortable for you. Vajrasana, sitting on the heels, or just simply sitting with the legs stretched out in front of you. If it's comfortable, maybe you can sit in half lotus pose. So closing the eyes now and lengthening through the spine, drawing the navel in towards the spine, bringing your awareness to your breath. We're going to start with centering ourselves. Breath is entering and leaving the body in rhythmic waves. For a moment, your only awareness is the sound of your own inhalation and exhalation. And now become aware of the sensation of the inhalation and exhalation, as well as the sound. Continue to focus only on the breath. I'm going to ask you to bring your awareness now to Swadhisthana, the chakra at the base of the tailbone, the color of which is bright orange. As you breathe in, draw the energy up the spine to Anahata, behind the sternum, blue. Exhale, back down to Swadhisthana. Inhale again, be aware of the prana traveling from Swadhisthana to Manipura behind the navel, yellow. Anahata behind the sternum, blue, and back down to Swadhisthana. One more breath, this time Swadhisthana, orange, inhale, behind the navel, Manipura, yellow, behind the sternum, Anahata, blue, up to Vishuddhi, behind the pit of the throat, mauve, purple. Exhale, back down again. And we're going to let go of the total awareness only being on the breath and come back to the physical body, preparing to move. So, coming to easy pose, Sukhasana, bringing the hands onto the knees. Hold onto the kneecaps, splay the fingers wide, take a deep inhalation, lengthen through the spine. Drop the shoulders away from the ears and exhale. Inhale again. And then as you go to exhale, I'm going to ask you to press into the knees, bend the elbows, and sway the torso towards the left knee. Come all the way around towards the right. Hold on to the knees, sway back, and move into these torso rotations. Hold on, engage with the navel, come that little bit back off the mat, swaying again, full rotations. So you can keep these small if it doesn't feel right for you today to go large, or you can make them as large as you like. You can lean as far back as feels comfortable, keep on swaying all the way forward. The forehead dips towards the floor, depending on how open the hips already are, and continuing on. For your next one, I'm going to ask you to pause in the middle. Inhale, exhale, sway to the opposite side and change your rotation direction. Just a few more. One more, and then coming to upright. Okay, so we're going to widen the feet out, and we're going to move into some asanas, some butterfly out of asanas, so just the half butterfly. So we're bringing the heels in towards the groin, and we're going to take hold of the feet, interlace the fingers, or you can hold on to the feet and the thumbs go towards the insides of the soles of the feet. So moving your heels and your groin towards the heels, flattening the knees towards the mat, length through the arms, the spine is straight, the shoulders are relaxed, and on the inhale just draw the knees up towards the ears and the shoulders. Exhale, lower back down towards the mat. Inhale, exhale, keep the navel drawn in, and then just move into the flapping of the knees in your own time. So remembering it's a slow, graceful flapping. We're not going too fast, we're not bouncing, we're gently flapping the wings as a butterfly would. Releasing the feet and drawing the knees up, popping them back in towards the chest, wrapping the arms around the knees and dropping the chin down towards the knees. And then we're going to stretch the right leg out long, and we're going to keep the left leg tucked up here. We're going to pop the left foot onto the extended right leg. So you can, if it feels comfortable just to only have this at the knee level, that's all good. If it feels comfortable to bring the heel up towards the hip, just open the hip up a little and then pop the heel up towards the hip bone, either way or onto the thigh. But you're going to hold the left ankle where it rests, and we're going to place gentle pressure, so no hard pressure on the knee. We're keeping our knees safe, just gentle pressure, gentle bounces as we open the hips, just gentle bounces. And then we're going to go into a little bit of Shroni chakra, which is the rotation or rotating the hip. So we're going to move around. We keep the right hand on the ankle, the left hand on the knee, and we're just creating circles with our knee. Be aware of your hip socket. It's as if you were drawing circles within the hip socket. Visualize this with your hip bone, the ball of the hip bone, drawing circles with that. And then pause and we'll change direction. Just a few more here. We're looking at about 7 in total. Connecting with the breath. The breath is just spontaneous as we rotate. Take a moment and pause, taking a deep inhalation and exhalation. And then we're just going to do a few little stretches, once again widening through the hips. So we're just this gentle swaying from side to side, bringing the knee, this is the left knee, out towards the left side, opening up through the hips. Should be no pain, there may be just a little bit of heat starting to build, but no sharp pain. So be fully in tune with yourself and your physical body, aware of what your body is asking of you today or allowing you to do. We're going to, if it feels comfortable, take the foot of the left leg into the inside of the right elbow. Only if this feels comfortable. You might only just get to here, and then we just continue a little bit of the swaying. You might not get here at all. If it feels comfortable, you can wrap the left arm around, interlace the fingers, and draw the leg closer to the chest. Continuing on with a few of these gentle sways from the left to the right. And we're going to pause. We're going to drop the foot back down to the extended leg, pop the knee up. We'll realign everything back within its socket, realign the hip, hug. It's an important aspect to hug that left knee, bent knee back into the chest, and then stretch the leg out long. We're just going to move straight down to the right, picking up the right foot. We're going to go through exactly the same. So where the right foot feels gentle resting, it may be down by the knee, or it may be opening up a little and coming up towards the hip. And we're just doing the gentle bounces. Nothing. We don't push the knee down towards the floor, just gentle bounces. Feel an opening up through the hip. And then we're going to go back into our rotation where we're drawing the circles with the ball of the hip within the socket. So holding on to the the right foot, and using the left hand to do this. The right hand is on the knee, and we start to circle. Visualize into the hip socket if you can, and visualize the hip bone making these circles. Between 5 and 7 in one direction, and then pause and move into the opposite direction. Spine is still straight, the navel is still drawn in towards the spine for stability. And then we're moving into those sideways swaying movements of the knee, bringing the leg from the left to the right, opening up through the hip, just as much as feels comfortable for you today. And we'll move back to placing the right foot into the left, out inside of the left elbow, and you may just be staying here, or it may just stay down in the hand, and that's all good. If it feels comfortable, you can wrap the arms around, draw the leg in towards the chest, and continue to sway from side to side. And then releasing once more. Popping the knee back up to upright, drawing the right knee all the way in, hugging it into the chest, realigning the hip bone once again, and then extending the legs out long. So this time we're going to open the legs up wide. So you may want to pop your buttocks back a little bit on your mat. And so we're looking to open the legs up reasonably wide. So this series of hip openers is all from sitting or lying. There are many good hip openers that are from different poses and from standing poses, but this little series, which is mainly Satyananda based, is all from sitting. So we're just going to, with our legs wide now, move into a little bit of a forward bend. So it's important that the fleshy bits of the buttocks are pulled out and the sit bones are attached to the floor. You can do this by popping yourself up and re-lowering, or just physically pulling them out. And we place the hands in front of the pelvis, and then we just slowly start to walk the hands forward. Now you may only get to this stage. We're going to bring in a bit of a forward bend at the same time opening through the hips. So walk down until you feel that you are coming into a stretch, so you can start to feel the heat starting to build, the hips starting to open. You'll feel a warmth building through the adductor muscles, around into the hip flexors, the quadratus lumboris, the big muscles that flank from the spine around to the hips, will start to also probably start to build in heat. So you want to be able to feel the stretch. Some of you may be able to come down onto the elbows to rest in the forward bend. Some may come all the way down, head to the floor. The full pose is, and if you want to do that, come all the way down and lay the head on the floor. The belly is to the floor, as is the chin or the side of the head, whatever feels comfortable. The toes are flexed back towards the back of the room, and the sit bones stay attached to the floor. So just come down as far as feels comfortable for you to be able to hold and breathe deeply. As you breathe in and out, send the prana to where it's needed most for the stretch. Into the hips, the insides of the thighs, the adductor muscles. You might feel it in your gastrocnemius, the calf muscles, and up into the hamstrings. You may feel it in the muscles either side of the spine. A few more breaths here. Ready? We walk the hands all the way back up into upright. You might like to ease off the hips at this stage. You can lean back and take a bend. Bring the knees up, hug them into the chest, and then come back to your wide leg once again. And we're going to move into some Chaki Chalanasana, which is stirring the porridge. It's a simple but very powerful asana. So it's a really good asana for toning the reproductive organs at the same time as opening up through the hips. Also really powerful on the abdominal muscles, and I like to always put some abdominal work into any of my sequences to help strengthen the back, keep the spine safe. So the hands come out in front of us, and as if we're holding a big or a large stirring spoon. The breath is just spontaneous, so as you stir, breathe in and out, focus on the depth of your breath. So we lean forward and on the inhalation, and then we're going to start to stir to the left and come all the way. This is where we draw the navel and just come back as far as feels comfortable, and we stir all the way to the right. Now I might pop myself a little bit further forward. I'm in a small space today, as needs must. So I'm coming a bit further forward so that I can lean a little bit further back. The idea as we stir is that we keep our hands at the same distance off the floor if we can as we come back and as we sweep forward. So we're stirring the porridge, big large stirs all the way over to the left. It might be as large for you. You might be feeling that your pot is small and it may be strenuous enough for you today to be stirring a smaller pot of porridge, and that's all good. Either way, when it's time to stop, we pause in upright and then we come forward and start to stir in the opposite direction. Remember, as you come back, draw the navel back to the spine and continue to stir, whether your pot is small or whether it's large. It's a really dynamic little asana, and I recommend it to a lot of my clients. I think it's continuing now with a few more in your own time. As I indicated, especially for the female reproductive organs, it is an extremely good toner of them and helps to bring balance to the female reproductive system. It's also good for the male reproductive system as well. And if you can, when you're rotating, bring in your root lock, your mula bandha, to keep you balanced and locked down, then you're just increasing the energy and the power in this, in the area around the reproductive organs. So I'm going to ask you to pause after your next one and come all the way back up to upright. We're going to release off the legs, leaning back, placing your hands under the knees, drawing the feet all the way together. I'm going to pop a little bit further forward, draw the knees in, give them a nice hug. I don't know about you, but I'm certainly starting to feel well toned and stretched within my hips and the flexors and the muscles around my hips. We're going to move into another little forward bend with a twist. We're going to bring in Janu Shirshasana now with a little twist. So I'm going to take the left heel and pop it up here to the inside of the right thigh. I'm going to move straight into it. Breathing in, raising the arms up alongside the ears. Exhale, we're pivoting forward from the hips, lowering the belly and the chest and the head towards the extended leg. So for you, this might be here or even further up. That's all good. Just come down as far as is comfortable. If it feels comfortable to go the whole way down, drop the head to the knees. You can take hold of the forefinger and the thumb takes hold of the big toe. And we're not locked down, but the leg is straight. If you've got any, you can also, of course, have the knee bent and come down and have the head resting on the knee and the belly on the thigh. It's not necessary for you to have your knee completely straight. To keep safe and to get the benefit of the pose and have the belly pressing on the thigh, then please also feel free to have the knee bent. And we're breathing deeply. We'll be down now, have already been down for a few breaths. I'm going to ask you to take 3 more. I'm going to ask you to come all the way back up to upright and bring the arms all the way out to the sides. Take a deep inhalation. We're going to swing all the way, the right hand towards the left bent knee. Come and steeple the left hand in behind the buttocks. Your hand may be flat on the mat. I like to steeple mine and bring length. All our arms are different heights, so we're going to, or length, sorry, so we're going to be doing this in a slightly different way. With the length of my arm, I like to steeple my fingers in towards the buttocks. The arm at the back runs up the spine. This is your anchor arm. The right hand, the back of the right hand is placed at the back of the left thigh and knee. And we use that as a little fulcrum to help twist that little bit further. You're looking out over the left shoulder and your chin is in neutral. So your chin is neither pointing up or tucked down. It's just in neutral. Draw the navel into the spine. The breath travels up and down the spine. And hold the twist for just a few more breaths. Time to come out, we take a deep inhalation, we release the hands and we come all the way back to the center. Exhale. And we're going to lift the knee up, tuck it in nice and tight, make sure that it's aligned. Then stretch the left leg long and bring the right heel all the way up. We're going to go straight into our forward bend. Using the same cues, only coming down as far as feels comfortable for you. You're pivoting from the hips or your knee is bent. Exhale, flow forward only if it feels comfortable. Come all the way down. Continuing to breathe deeply. Feel the body soften over the leg. Remembering to send the breath to where it's needed the most. Deep exhalation. Each time flood the prana into the space within the body that's needing the extension and the stretch. Inhaling and exhaling deeply. A couple more breaths here. Inhale and extend, and then exhale and walk the hands slowly all the way back up to upright. We're going to go straight into the twist, bringing the arms all the way out to the sides, and we're going to pivot around. The right arm is steepled at the tailbone, running up the back. The left hand this time at the right knee and thigh is the anchor, helping to twist, helping to rotate the upper body that little bit further. The chin is in neutral. The navel is drawn in and the breath, as in most twists, travels up and down the spine. A few more deep inhalations and exhalations. Way back, arms out wide, pop the knee up, hug it in nice and close to the chest, and then let it go and come back to Sukhasana or easy pose. So we're going to leave asanas there and we're going to finish with just a little bit of pranayama. And know that if you want to have a complete practice, then you can watch one of the Nidra videos that I will have up posted on YouTube, and then you'll get your asana and your pranayama and your relaxation and meditation. If not, if you don't have the time, then finish up after this pranayama. So there are many different hip asanas that can be used in yoga. This is just a small sample of a seated sequence to open and stretch the hips. So I'm going to ask you now with a straight spine to close the eyes and come to your breath. With each exhalation, feel the body become still and stable. Navel's drawn in towards the spine, the shoulders are relaxed, away from the ears, the back is straight, you're effortlessly still and stable. And we're just going to do a little bit of Viloma Pranayama, the alternate nostril breath. I'm just going to ask you to visualize, see the breath in the mind's eye. As you breathe in, it travels up the right nostril, and as you exhale, it travels down the left. Breathing back up the left and down the right. And just continue with this. As you look deeply into the space on the inside of the nose, ask you to see the prana, visualize or imagine it as a stream of light. The first color that comes to mind, the spontaneous first color that comes to mind. And this stream of light cuts a pathway through the darkness, up the right and down the left, up the left and down the right, creating an open triangle. Just follow this in your mind's eye. If you find it hard to see it, know that this is what's happening with the prana. After the next exhalation out of the right nostril. Just breathing spontaneously. Effortless breath. Be aware of your body. Touching points of the body to the floor. Seeing the prana to the outside edges of the body. Be aware of the energy and space in the room around you. When you're ready, gently opening the eyes. Hari Om Tat Sat Namo Narayan. Once again, I'm grateful for you for taking the time out to do a little bit of yoga today. Namo Narayan.